Middle Tennessee's only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
Breaking news tonight as Metro Police arrest the suspect in a shooting Sunday that left an Antioch restaurant owner dead. 17-year-old Marcos Leyva Hernandez is charged with the murder of 39-year-old Huarang Joe, who owned a chicken restaurant in a Mill Creek shopping center. Police say the victim had just exited his restaurant and had gotten in his car when the suspect shot him. Police are still searching for Leyva Hernandez's twin brother, Emilio. If you know anything, call Metro Police. In Operation Crime and Justice, license plate readers in Hendersonville led to an arrest in Spring Hill. This while Nashville is still without LPRs, despite pleas from the community to the mayor. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is live at the Metro Courthouse to tell us about the push to get LPRs implemented now, not later. Karen?
Amanda, the mayor tells Fox 17 News they are on track to roll out LPRs, but a Metro Councilwoman argues protecting citizens can't wait. She points to the effectiveness of Hendersonville's LPRs with yet another arrest. At a Publix in Hendersonville, police say a man tampered with gift cards on Monday. In a situation where he could have gotten away, he didn't. Police say his car was identified thanks to their LPRs. They say not too long after, Ling Jiang was arrested by Spring Hill police. They add he also had outstanding warrants out of Texas. Metro Councilwoman Courtney Johnston says this is exactly why MNPD needs LPRs.
We have a public safety issue and we need to be giving our police department the tools they need to keep us safe.
So why hasn't MNPD received this tool? Mayor Freddie O'Connell says he wants to fine-tune the LPR policy over privacy concerns. But it's the question we've been asking over and over again. What's the holdup? Metro Council already approved LPRs in a policy last year.
Chief Drake has been in lockstep with us. The department has been in lockstep with us.
Johnston says every day the mayor waits, the more risks to residents, highlighting Monday's arrest as a measure of LPR success.
We need to be able to effectively and efficiently take criminals off the street, and that's exactly what this tool allows the police department to do.
The mayor says it's still a work in progress.
We are on track.
The mayor is hoping to reach a policy agreement with MNPD by the end of this year. Reporting live in downtown, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Oh, it's been a blessing. It's truly been a blessing because where doors were closed and it was hard, doors have been opened.
Dozens of veterans are gathering on Thanksgiving because of a local nonprofit. This nonprofit helps formerly homeless veterans who are now working towards housing, help, and hope. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller joins us from South Nashville with more on how this one organization is giving back to those who served our country.
The people here at Matthew 25 have a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. We spoke with one man who graduated from this program and now owns his own home here in Nashville, and another man going through the program who's overcoming his challenges.
Man, I'm happy for you. I'm trying to get there, man.
Sidney Gray is spending his Thanksgiving with Jose Correa, among others, for a Thanksgiving meal at Matthew 25. Gray has graduated from the Matthew 25 program, and Correa is currently in the program.
I was down once, and now things are better for me. I like to help things be better for people who need it.
Gray served for 4 years in the U.S. Navy. He struggled adapting back to civilian life. He lived with his mother for a bit and then with roommates. But then the roommates couldn't pay rent anymore, and then neither could Gray.
Not being able to go to work, put food on the table, to ask people for things is it's not a comfortable feeling to have to ask people for things that you as a grown man should be able to provide for yourself.
Gray was homeless for 2 months until he called up Matthew 25 and they had a bed for him. Gray says this program helped him get a job and get the resources he needed to get back on his feet.
Working a full-time job. I'm a homeowner, and I come back here and I visit the people. It's nice. I'm moving forward.
Gray is a full-time carpenter and owns a home in South Nashville. But he continues to stay connected with this community, which is why he's back hanging out with Correa and other friends today.
I see myself going forward. There have been vast improvements since I've been here. I would have spent Thanksgiving alone, and I have actually made friends here.
Correa served in the U.S. Army for 8 years. He ended up getting arrested for his anger issues, which then led him to getting evicted from his home.
People look at you as if you're not a part of, society. You are either a victim or you're a threat to them.
Correa now has a roof over his head, and he's working in the industry he did before he ended up in jail. He's a software developer again.
When you want your own home and you want a family or you want a good job, that's very difficult, especially for interviewing on a job when you can't get your clothes clean or you can't take a shower. That's another barrier of entry.
But now Correa has the community, a roof over his head, and a full-time job, working towards buying a home. So he says there's a lot to be thankful for today. Matthew 25 is expecting about 50 people to gather here in the room and to share all that they've overcome and what they're thankful for. Reporting from South Nashville, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Well, a local business is once again giving back to the community this Thanksgiving. Donaldson Cafe and Catering hosting their 8th annual A Truly Thankful Thanksgiving. Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan joined the owners for setup this morning.
Donaldson Cafe and Catering is serving up Thanksgiving meals for anyone and everyone. This Thanksgiving is going to make it the 8th annual free event. Starting off with a goal to feed those who don't have anywhere to go on the holiday. The owners, Mark and Chef Kevin, went from making around 500 of your traditional Thanksgiving dinner meals to 1,500 this year, which means they prep days in advance, carving up 80 turkeys total. To do this year after year, Mark says it's all thanks to the community.
We do this by the help of people within our community. We have sponsors who will help us with the turkeys, with putting the meal together, buying the meal. We have community sponsors who help us to do that. Friends, family, everybody comes together to make this happen.
Of course, the food is top of mind, but one of my favorite things the cafe is doing is making sure that they know what you are thankful for. They're asking everyone to write down what they're thankful for. For me, of course, it's my family, Fox 17 News, and you guys at home. In Nashville, I'm Madeline Nolan. Back to you guys in the studio.
And it was a little bit of a cold Thanksgiving for us today, too. We actually hit our high temperature right after midnight. It was about 12:30 or so this morning when we hit our high temperature of the day. That was 58 degrees, and since then, temperatures have just been slowly dropping. And it's all because of this cold front that moved through that has left some much colder air across Middle Tennessee, up into southern Kentucky, too. And it's not just us, it's a lot of the country that's going to be seeing this cold air. So this cold air has moved in, and it's going to be sticking around with us for the next several days, too. We have broken the record, basically, for the latest first fall freeze here in Nashville. The previous record, that was November 27th. That was set back in 1902, also again in 2009. And I think tomorrow morning, we're probably going to drop below freezing. But if we don't drop below freezing for whatever reason tomorrow morning, we're definitely going to drop below freezing on Saturday morning. And that's what you're looking at right here. So for Nashville, I think we're down to about 30 tonight. That's 2 degrees below freezing. But then by Saturday morning, we'll have overnight low temperatures in the mid-20s. So it's only going to get colder. And then this is a look at the following week. So December 6th through the 12th, I think there's still a decent chance, at least, for temperatures a little bit below normal for this time of year.
Imagine a court hearing with 51 victims testifying. It's happening in Sumner County. We have that story next.
He's accused of cheating more clients than any attorney in Tennessee history. Now a judge is working to divide a pot of money between more than 100 people with claims. This as Andy Allman spends 35 years in prison. Fox 17 News' Dennis Ferrier first exposed the claims before any criminal charges were filed, and he has this update.
Lawyers found $111,000 in an Allman account. The question before the judge, how do you divide that among 118 people? It just doesn't cover much, does it?
We've never seen anything like it.
A sign-up sheet for victims of Andy Allman outside the courtroom?
Thank you, Special Master.
Inside the courtroom, the longest victim list we've ever seen. 51 people signed up to tell the court what Andy Allman did to them and why they deserve part of that $111,000. The court wanted to make sure everyone knows there is no other money. This is it.
Let me start by just making sure everybody understands that the money that was stolen from you was spent long ago.
The lawyer who the courts hired to seize Allman's practice and sort it all out says it's the biggest mess he's ever seen. He had no idea Allman had so many clients.
There were 517 people on that list. A lot of those people either called me, wrote me. For the first year, we got multiple calls. We couldn't keep up with them. We tried to answer every one of them. We tried to get people their files. We tried to do what they were asking to do.
Andy Allman, you might remember, is convicted of stealing from 30 clients in Sumner County. Prosecutors acknowledge there are more victims, but for prosecution purposes, 30 cases carried the proof needed to put the man behind bars for 35 years. The biggest single theft, $230,000, from a family that had catastrophic medical expenses after a freak high school football injury left Baylor Bramble paralyzed. The young man has since passed away.
I guess my biggest complaint in this whole situation is that in my particular case, the board had 50 or so complaints against Mr. Allman, that one of them he even had a criminal charge against him, and he wasn't disbarred. So to me, the state of Tennessee allowed Mr. Allman to continue to practice law, which when I hired him on the board's page, it said he was an attorney in good standing. It did not say that there were 50 complaints.
The Lawyers Fund, which pays people who have had money stolen by lawyers or fees taken by lawyers who then did no work, the Lawyers Fund paid 67% of what Allman stole from individuals up to $100,000. The biggest payout in Lawyers Fund history, a total of $391,000.
That is a remarkable number on many levels, but it's one of the few cases in which the Lawyers Fund asked the Supreme Court to raise the limit that they could award for people who were harmed by Mr. Allman.
What can't be calculated is the money lost from cases Allman took but didn't meet deadline, cases that had potential but failed.
I took our inheritance to him, and I told him, I said, look, I'm not a rich man, and I can't afford this. I said, but I'm going to trust you with it. And he laughed, and he said, oh, man, he said, we're going to get him. We're going to, you won't have to worry about nothing else. He said, the rest of your life.
It took a long time to get Allman out of his expensive suits and in jail. He kept switching lawyers to get delays. Finally, the judge had enough, and Allman traded in his lavish lifestyle for a prison life. But now Clerk and Master Mark Smith is given the unpleasant task of dividing this money to deserving victims. There's no judgment of Solomon here. Wisdom can't make the money cover the pain. This is going to take some time. Special Master Smith says he's going to write to each of the 111 claimants why they got some of the money or why they didn't. It's going to take a while. We'll let you know how it all shakes out. I'm Dennis Ferrier, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Brett. Well, it was pretty cold today for Thanksgiving, but tomorrow's Black Friday. We have shoppers who are going to be out and about. Still some chilly weather, I assume.
Yeah, so it's going to stay cold. Like you said, today was a cold Thanksgiving for us. Black Friday's going to be cold. We're going to stay cold these next several days, too. Hope all y'all had a great day today, though. Had a lot of good food. Radar not popping up on any rainfall, no snowfall, anything like that anywhere close to us at all. We had some showers move through yesterday, but now it is all dry. That cold front moved through, and it's really dropped our temperatures down for today, too. Like I was talking earlier, we hit our high temperature just a little bit after midnight midnight, and then we've just been downhill throughout the rest of the day. We're down to 40 right now in Nashville, 41 Murfreesboro, 41 in McMinnville, all across the map, mid-30s to the lower 40s for the most part. As we go through the overnight hours tonight, though, it's only going to get colder, and here's some of the low temperatures that I'm going with for the overnight tonight. I think we should be around 30 here in Nashville. That's going to put us below freezing. This is early Saturday morning, could be down to 24, maybe down to about 23 in Nashville, so very cold air continues to move in. Some of our areas outside of the city centers could be looking at low temperatures in the upper teens for early Saturday morning. As far as any rain chance goes, though, not expecting any of that for the next several days. I think we're going to keep it all dry. Yesterday, we were thinking, maybe some flurries around the northern portions of the Cumberland Plateau, but I just really don't even see that happening. A very slim chance for maybe some flurries at best. Snow accumulating snow for Saturday night into early Sunday morning. I think we all should be staying pretty dry. It's going to be a pretty similar setup, though, for the rest of the day on Sunday. These dry conditions are going to stay in place. Monday, it's just more of the same too. Monday morning, we started out dry. We'll stay dry through the rest of Monday. Tuesday, more of the same. Started out dry, stay dry through the rest of Tuesday. Wednesday, only a slim chance for a few isolated showers at best. We'll go with about a 20% chance for Wednesday. And then as we move into Thursday, I think it's about the same thing, and maybe a 20% chance for a few isolated showers for us on a Thursday. Overnight low temperatures tonight, again, dropping down to 30 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Winds will be out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. If we do drop down below freezing obviously 32 degrees. So if we do hit that 30 mark right there, this will be the latest fall freeze that we've ever had here in Nashville since the records began. So finally, temperatures dropping below freezing for us here in Nashville. Some of y'all already have hit freezing a little bit earlier. As we head on into tomorrow, though, we're going to start it out chilly, 7 a.m., lower 30s. By noon, we're in the lower 40s. And then by 5 o'clock, we should be in the lower 40s. We'll stay dry throughout the day tomorrow. I think we're partly sunny to start it out, and then we're going to lose a little bit of that cloud cover as the day goes on, leaving us with mostly sunny skies. Saturday, 7 a.m., we'll be in the upper 20s. Started out partly cloudy. We'll stay partly cloudy throughout most of the day. Bring in more clouds late Saturday. By noon, we're in the mid 40s, and then by 5 o'clock, we're in the lower 40s. I'll show you that 7-day forecast and all the details on that coming up here in just a bit.
I'm Kayla Gaskins in Washington. Coming up, we'll share a first-hand account of what it's like on the ground in Gaza.
Continuing coverage, the ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah that went into effect yesterday is getting an early test with reports of shots fired in Lebanon this morning. Fox 17 News' Kayla Gaskins has the latest from Washington.
After 14 months of fighting, Israel and Hezbollah, a U.S.-designated terrorist organization operating out of Lebanon, agreeing to a 60-day truce. The ceasefire going into effect Wednesday afternoon. But as of Thursday morning, reports of sporadic firing in southern Lebanon testing the deal, both sides blaming the other. For now, the deal largely holds. We spoke with IDF Captain Benaya Sherlow, who just returned from Lebanon. He's skeptical the truce will last.
I don't trust Hezbollah. Who is the Lebanese government? How they exist? There is one only player in Lebanon, military player, and it's Hezbollah.
Sherlow grew up in Israel, served in the IDF as all young Israelis do, then came to the U.S. for school and work. After October 7th, the Army called him back and sent him to combat.
I'm not the same human being before the war and now.
Most of us have seen the heartbreaking images from Gaza. Sherlow was there.
War, it's not nice. You saw the situation in pictures. We saw that in real.
What was it like seeing that in real life?
It's terrifying.
Sherlow says the war is mostly low-level officers like himself making life or death decisions. A particularly tough decision stays with him. Simultaneously, he received news hostages may have been located and a tank of his friends had just been hit.
And I had like 10 seconds to decide. I'm taking right or I'm taking left. No one prepared me for this.
What did you decide?
I'm prefer to keep it for myself. Yeah.
Are you okay now with that decision, or does it still haunt you?
I don't think like someone who went out from Gaza and Lebanon can like mentally will be like okay with himself.
Sherlow is determined to make good come from his war experience. He's in Washington building a multi-ethnic coalition of Israelis, Arabs, and Americans in the hopes of reshaping the Middle East into a region defined by peace and cooperation rather than war.
We dream big and we dream from the future.
In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
Some volunteers across the country are giving thanks by giving back to those without hot meals this year. I'm Madison Scarpino in Atlanta. More on the Thanksgiving assistance coming up.
Continuing coverage as many people in western North Carolina face a difficult Thanksgiving after their lives were upended by Hurricane Helene. But now, as Fox News' Madison Scarpino reports, many other people are trying to help them have the best holiday they can.
We're doing green beans or green corn?
Green beans.
Green beans, yes ma'am.
Some Hurricane Helene survivors lost nearly everything, but volunteers want to make sure people in need at least get a Thanksgiving meal.
As much as they would want to be home, they would rather be here serving others versus sitting at home with Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the holidays. You would always think, people aren't going to sign up, but it's the complete opposite.
Lowe's handed out 3,000 meals in Asheville this week. The company hired local restaurant workers who are now out of a job after Helene destroyed countless businesses.
Any little thing we can do, I think is just amazing. So to see this many people out here this early just tells us that, we're making an impact in the community.
It's been kind of a godsend for us. We kind of had a bunch of family members that lost some stuff. We actually had some damage to our house as well.
And one man's small idea turned into a massive operation.
In my mind, I was going to cook a Thanksgiving meal for about 1,200 people or so and just come back home and feel good about what I did and call it good. But, when God is on your side and God's on your team, His plans are always different than yours.
The plan is now to feed 5,000 people in western North Carolina, thanks to the hundreds of volunteers that stepped up to help. 2 months after Helene devastated parts of North Carolina, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says that his department has sent its first $187 million to clear roads and begin repairs. In Atlanta, Madison Scarpino, Fox News.
In health news, you don't have to let the holidays keep you from achieving your health goals. Dietitians say a few treats are nothing to feel guilty about. A new health survey from Orlando shows nearly 2 in 5 Americans worry about how much they eat during the holidays, with many people overcorrecting, even using counterproductive measures to try to make it happen. Registered dietitian Sarah Rhimes says that includes skipping meals to save calories before a holiday gathering or doing a cleanse or detox after the parties are done.
Just the same way that one healthy meal is not going to make a huge difference in how your health outcomes are or how your lab metrics are, having one unhealthy meal is also not going to make a huge difference.
Ream says anxiety about weight gain is much more common than actual weight gain. She urges people to stay consistent with their eating habits and make sure there's something nutritious on your plate, but also enjoy the pie as well. All right, Brett.
I enjoyed the pie earlier. I had pumpkin pie slices over here.
We had a lot of pumpkin pie and a lot of food.
It tasted good. I'm feeling it right now, though. Feeling a little bloated.
A food coma. That's what we call it.
So much sugar today, too.
Yes.
Well, hey, Amanda, it got cold last night. That cold front moved through. Tomorrow, that cold air is going to be sticking around with us, and it's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. I think tomorrow we'll have high temperatures in the mid-40s. If you want to show this right here, 45 our temperature for tomorrow. But average high temperature. Is my mic messing up?
Yeah, your mic's messing up.
Doing that thing
yeah. So it's okay.
Are we good now?
We'll come back when we're all good. Well, before the turkey and gravy and stuffing, hundreds of runners started their Thanksgiving with the annual Music City Turkey Trot. Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey takes us to Nissan Stadium and caught up with the winner.
The gun went off right at 8 a.m. We caught it live on Fox 17 News this morning. There were turkeys and tutus, people of all ages. Nurses from the base in Clarksville were all smiles ahead of the 5K. Have you ever run in one of these things?
I have not. This is my first time, so we'll see how it goes.
And if there was a costume contest, Sam, right here's the winner. Show off your medal. You ran in this thing.
Heck yeah!
They went from Nissan Stadium over the river and through Korean Veterans Boulevard to Music City Center and back. It's all for a good cause benefiting the organization Nurture the Next. Robert Underwood was the winner, coming in under 16 minutes.
A little tired, a little cold, but happy to get the win.
Congratulations. Talk about the course and the atmosphere.
The atmosphere was fantastic. We had a lot of costumes today, which was great to see, a lot of dogs. The course a little hilly going up the bridge, but it was a lot of fun.
Okay, you earned your turkey and stuffing and everything?
I would say so, yeah. Send my tickets to Wicked this afternoon with my girlfriend.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, Robert. Congratulations. Everyone here certainly earned their dinners tonight. Happy Thanksgiving to my family back home and everyone out there in Nashville. Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, I think we might be up and running now, so we're going to get back into this. But we were just talking about the colder air. It came through overnight with that cold front. It also brought us the rain showers, too, and that colder air is going to be sticking around with us for tomorrow and really for the next several days, too. We'll keep high temperatures well below normal for this time of year. Average high is 57. I think tomorrow all we hit is 45 right here in Nashville, so it is going to be a chilly day for us. For tomorrow, those high temperatures about 12 degrees below normal for this time of year. This cold air is not going to be going anywhere anytime soon either. We'll be in the mid to upper 40s as we go through the next few days through Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. I think we start out next week in the lower 40s, and then Wednesday, Thursday, 52 on Wednesday, Thursday, I think we're at 57. That should be the warmest day that we see here within at least the next 7 days. As far as that rain chance goes, though, all dry through the next several days. Wednesday into Thursday, we'll bring in only about a 20% chance for a few isolated showers. So next week, or this upcoming week, looks pretty dry. The week after that looks pretty dry too. The Climate Prediction Center giving us a better chance for drier than normal conditions.
In-state rivals, what you can look forward to with Saturday's matchup between Vandy and the Volunteers. Well, a lot of good football games on today for Thanksgiving, but the big one comes on Saturday as the Vanderbilt Commodores host their in-state rivals, the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee has dominated the rivalry for 5 years straight. However, this Vanderbilt team should not be underestimated. Alabama learned that the hard way this season when the Commodores knocked off the Crimson. If they lose to Vandy, their playoff hopes most likely go out the door.
Playing a really good football team in Vanderbilt. You look at what they've done throughout the season, but statistically, they do a great job of tying all three phases together. They play complementary football. They're smart, they're tough, they're physical, they're disciplined. They make you earn it.
Obviously, when you get to play the in-state rival and a team that we haven't performed well against, that's the biggest thing to me. We can talk all we want. We need to perform better, and we need to close the gap on the field.
11 a.m. kickoff from First Bank Stadium Saturday. Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick will be at the game and have you covered with everything you need to know on Fox 17 News at 9 that night.
Well, the cold front that moved through yesterday brought us in some colder air, and now we're going to be looking at this colder air sticking around with us for quite a while. I'll let you know when we finally start to warm things back up here in just a bit. Digging deeper, the hidden and harmful ingredients that could be in your child's school lunch. Millions of kids rely on school lunches every day, but almost nothing is known about what's really in them. Invisible and dangerous ingredients that could impact their growing bodies and brains. During a months-long investigation, Spotlight on America's Lisa Fletcher tested school lunches, and now she shows us why similar results are getting the attention of Congress.
In America's schools, 30 million lunches are served every day. There are standards in place for things like calories, sodium, and added sugar, but we discovered invisible threats you won't find on a label. In groundbreaking new tests, we sent school lunches to this testing lab, hunting for what the standards don't cover: heavy metals, pesticides, and veterinary drugs.
Why is it important for you to test school lunches?
To make the invisible visible.
Unseen, largely unregulated components, increasingly connected to everything from attention deficit disorder and liver disease to hormone disruption and cancer. Samples we collected from schools in Washington, D.C., Virginia, and Maryland included common fare like breadsticks, pizza, potatoes, and fruit. The lab identified more than 50 pesticides in our samples. Dozens often layered into one meal. This lunch, served at an elementary school, contained 38 different pesticides. 23 in just one strawberry cup. The fungicide carbendazim, banned in most European countries for health effects, was found in 5 of our samples.
We should be feeding our children food that is not contaminated with things that can make them sick.
Dr. John Fagan, Chief Scientific Officer and CEO of the Health Research Institute in Iowa, conducted our tests and has long raised flags about pesticides being detected in food.
We just thought, oh, these kill the bugs, but they don't hurt people. That was our hope. But in fact, that's not true with any of them.
How long have you been studying pesticides? Just about 30 years.
We took our results to epidemiologist Dr. Melissa Perry, Dean of the George Mason University School of Public Health.
When we tell you that we found 50 pesticides on food given to kids in their school lunches, what's your reaction to that?
I'm very concerned. I'm absolutely concerned. 50 pesticides in school lunches, it's not okay. It really isn't. It demonstrates that our regulatory system is not succeeding in ensuring that the food that children eat are free from chemical burden.
The EPA has placed limits on certain pesticides, on certain foods. And while most of our tests fell below those limits, scientists like Perry point out that doesn't necessarily mean they're safe, especially for developing children.
Is it fair to say we don't know enough about most of these pesticides, and we don't know anything about the chemical soup that's created when we have 50 pesticides being detected in school lunch?
Oh, I think that's very fair to say. I think that's absolutely fair to say. We don't know what it means to be exposed over time at low levels continuously, especially for developing children.
What is well evaluated is the effect of heavy metals like lead, arsenic, and cadmium on developing children. We found cadmium, a heavy metal known to be a carcinogen, on potatoes at a level 12 times higher than the FDA allows in bottled water. Arsenic in rice was more than 6 times higher than what's allowed in apple juice, and lead, of which there is no safe level, was found in 100% of our samples.
If I were the head of the FDA, I would be getting on this immediately. Where are these heavy metals coming from, and what can we do to get them out of our school lunches?
Zen Honeycutt is the founding executive director of Moms Across America, representing hundreds of thousands of moms who want safer foods served to their kids. In 2022, the group tested nearly 50 school lunches from 15 states, finding toxins similar to our results and launching a national conversation.
Other countries around the world have far lower levels of glyphosate, heavy metals, food dyes, and other toxins in their food supply than Americans, and I simply think we can do better.
Moms Across America is a nonprofit. We're journalists. What does it say to you that we are the ones doing the testing and it's not the agencies in charge of public health?
So many moms across the country are infuriated that our regulatory agencies, tax-funded, government agencies, are not doing their jobs.
Hi, I wonder if I can give some information on school lunches to the panelists, some testing that we've done.
It's what brought her to Capitol Hill to lobby lawmakers. On the very day Senator Cory Booker introduced legislation to get toxins out of school lunches.
I think it is more of a crisis than most Americans can even begin to realize.
You've got something really powerful on your side. You've got moms.
Oh, the moms are mad. I would not underestimate the power of moms. And I think that any presidential candidate or elected official or regulatory agency, it would do them good to listen to what the moms are concerned about right now.
For Spotlight on America, I'm Lisa Fletcher.
Now, Lisa sent her findings to the FDA and EPA asking for comment and whether the test results would inform any new action on the part of the agencies. They have yet to respond. Her test results included much more than what you just saw, like the presence of a controversial weed killer commonly recognized as Roundup that's been connected to cancer, diabetes, and heart problems. You can see more details on SpotlightInvestigates.com. Looking ahead to tomorrow night on Fox 17, we have an exciting football game between Utah and the University of Central Florida. That game starts at 7 p.m. Then a can't-miss college football triple header for you on Saturday. First, it's Michigan versus Ohio State. Kickoff starts at 11 a.m. Then we've got a highly anticipated rivalry game as Arizona State takes on Arizona, starting at 3 p.m. And your primetime game on Fox 17, Kansas State will battle it out against Iowa State on Saturday at 6:30 p.m. And the holiday weekend wraps up on Sunday with an NFL matchup as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the Carolina Panthers. Kickoff starts at 3 p.m. right here on Fox 17.
And this colder air has moved across a lot of the country. It all came with that cold front that moved through last night. That's what brought us some of those rain showers. And now behind that, no rain that we're talking about, but just some much colder air that is locked in place across our part of the country, most of the country, a lot of it at least, seeing this colder air moving into. So here we go. That cold front is now pushed off out into the Gulf of Mexico, the Atlantic Ocean. But now behind this, it's just that colder air that we're left with. Not seeing any rain popping up here on the radar. Areas north of here around the Great Lakes, we're still seeing some of those snow showers going on up there. I really don't think we're going to get a very hard chance for us to get any flurries even as we hit into Saturday night. I'll show you that here in just a little bit though, but we're going to stay pretty much all dry. 40 right here in Nashville. Here's a live look over Broadway. It is a pretty calm night right there on Broadway. Current temperatures across the area, we're seeing those in the mid 30s, lower 40s. Nashville, we are one of the warmer locations. We have a few other lower 40s on the map. 41 Columbia, 41 right now in McMinnville, but these temperatures are going to be dropping, especially for tomorrow night. Tonight, I think we could get right below freezing here in Nashville. I think we could hit 30. That's going to put us below freezing finally here in Nashville. And then for early Saturday morning, and some of us could be waking up to temperatures in the upper teens, lower 20s for most of the rest of us. Nashville, we might hit 24 early Saturday morning. As far as any rain chance goes for the next several days, I just don't think we're going to get much of it. Not really any chance for some snow either. So for tomorrow morning, we're going to start it out dry. We'll stay dry through the rest of tomorrow, Saturday morning. We're off to a dry start. And then late Saturday, we're going to see some snow showers, but I think those are going to, we're going to see some snow showers on the map, but I think they're going to stay just north of us. I really don't expect any of that to work its way down into our area. At best, along the upper parts of Cumberland Plateau, we may get a few flurries flying in the air, but I think that is about it. Not expecting much of anything with any snow chance. For Sunday morning, we're off to a dry start. We'll stay dry through the rest of Sunday. Monday, just more of the same, and that same pattern is going to carry on over into Tuesday as well. We might bring in a chance for some isolated showers on Wednesday. That's a very slim chance though, about a 20% chance for some isolated showers Wednesday. And then for Thursday, I think maybe a 20% chance for a few isolated showers as well, even though that most current model run has kind of backed off of Thursday. Still several days out there. No bad weather in the forecast though, at least for the next 7 days. For tonight, again, 30 here in Nashville, mostly cloudy. Winds out of the northwest, 5 miles an hour. The next couple of days are looking pretty good if you don't mind the cold. We're not going to see any sort of rainfall, but we are looking at temperatures dropping below normal for this time of year. We're going to see these in lower 40s for some of these days coming up. Monday 41, Tuesday 43, and then look down there at some of these overnight low temperatures for Friday night down to 24 here in Nashville. Saturday night, I think we're still below freezing, and then Sunday night we're going to bring in a more cold air, 22 the overnight low temperature Sunday night, into Monday morning lower 40s Monday, Tuesday.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
These images captured an eerie, dense, and foggy morning in Alexandria, Alabama Wednesday. Far away and on the opposite side of the day, these cows huddled during a foggy sunset yesterday near Portland, Oregon. And this squirrel might be thanking whoever left out this meaty pumpkin for its use. And something else to be grateful for today, the lovely natural wonder of a vibrant rainbow.
Cutting down on waste. How much food is expected to be thrown away after Thanksgiving? Get this, about 316 million pounds of food are predicted to be thrown away after Thanksgiving. That's according to the nonprofit ReFed. They say the amount of turkey, mashed potatoes, and other sides worth more than $550 million. The organization says it's enough to feed every hungry person in the U.S. 5 times over. Food conservation experts say you can cut down on waste by using smaller plates. Well, making a difference how a couple is using their prior purchases to feed those in need. Well, check this out. A couple in South Carolina figures out a unique way to give back this Thanksgiving. The couple has collected more than 200,000 Chick-fil-A points over the years. Now they're using those points to feed dozens of people in their community. How awesome is that? They took lunch to a center that helps people with disabilities and special needs, and they plan to take more food to a children's ministry home next week.